Hey guys, it's me again. I wanted to make another video because I had just noticed that the last video I made was about 3 months ago. I don't know why I thought it's only been about a month, but no, it's been like 3 months. I've been super busy at work. We're in an apprenticeship right now. It's an 18-month apprenticeship and we're at the 13-month mark, so we're almost done. But yeah, the last 3 months were spent pretty much on cramming for a big exam that we had, and thankfully all of us passed. So there's 16 of us in the class and we all passed. So now the next few months should be pretty low-key compared to what we had before. So now I should have a lot more time. Well, not a lot more, but I'll have more time to make a few more videos on my channel. Speaking about my channel, I had noticed within the last couple of weeks that there was quite a bit of activity. I was getting emails on comments and people subscribing, and so I checked my channel and holy crap, you guys, I have 1,551 subscribers. Awesome, thank you guys. And my Spanish video, it's not even 9 minutes long, and that one has gotten 273,104 views. That is insane. Thank you for that, but also, holy crap guys, the comments I've been getting on this Spanish video, insane. Like, the majority of these sound like they are current witnesses. There's a few that are trying to recruit me to other religions, but the majority of them, I mean, I knew I was going to get like people screaming apostata, or apostate, that kind of a thing, but there are some pretty unchristian comments there. So yeah, all these Spanish-speaking J-dubs need to read their Bible and put on that new personality, because the Holy Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit, is not within you. Get it together, guys. They're even like going to the extent of commenting about how ugly my nose piercing is. Like, I don't understand how that affects your life, but if you need to take time out of your life to let me know that, I guess, I don't know. So yeah, I'll be making some more videos in Spanish because there is quite a bit of a need for XJW stories. I need to finish my story because I kind of just commented about how I got in the witnesses, and I mentioned that I was disfellowshipped, but I didn't really say what happened, why, and why I don't want to go back. So I'll be doing a follow-up video on that, but I will not be reading the comments for a minute, just for my own mental health. I think I need to step away from that. I have like 150 emails I haven't read, but I'm about to delete all of them just to kind of let myself have the courage to make another video, first of all, and then maybe I'll read the comments. As for the English comments though, thank you guys so much. You guys have been incredibly supportive and very kind. Obviously there is some criticism as well with the English, but I totally knew that, going into this, making a channel and speaking about, leaving the witnesses, I was going to be getting a little bit of a backlash from it. So, understandable. But those that have been giving me constructive criticism, thank you, much appreciated. There was a few comments about getting better equipment, because I think a couple of videos I had made, the video was shaky. And then on top of that, I'm like super close. I'm like all up in your faces. So hopefully soon I'll be able to invest in like a tripod or something, just so that we can get better footage without me being all up in your grill. Another really good suggestion I got was someone asking what I would have done differently in my escape of the religion, and any regrets I may have. So that's what I'm going to be talking about right now. This was kind of hard for me to really think about. Well, not so much to think about. It was hard for me to really come up with an answer for this. And there's a couple of reasons why. I couldn't really escape any other way, because had I still, for example, I was already disfellowshipped, and then it took a while after that I finally woke up and decided to leave the or I guess I was already out of the organization because I was disfellowshipped, but I decided not to go back. So there wasn't really a way for me to fade out of the religion, nor do I think that opportunity would have ever come up. Reason being is when I was an active member, I believed it to be true, like so hardcore, that there was no way I would allow myself to entertain any doubts, or to even like the video that I'm making. There's no way I would have watched any apostate videos. That's just not something I could ever see myself doing as a believing member of the Witnesses. So I don't see myself waking up while being an active member. Not only did it have to take me getting disfellowshipped, but even then when I was disfellowshipped, I still believed it and just kind of... I'm sorry, my dogs are being annoying. So even when I got disfellowshipped, it took about a year for something to happen and for me to, at that point, wake up. So it's really hard to me envision myself exiting the religion in any other way. And another reason is, even if I had woken up while still being in it, it's not in my personality to go along with something that I don't agree with. Like, and not show it, if that makes sense. Like, I can't just do something for the sake of, you know, not letting... Like, I wouldn't want to lose my family, and I don't like that I've lost my family, but I can't pretend to live a certain way, and I guess not be true to myself. It's not in me to do that. I'm a terrible liar, so if my parents would have questioned me about anything, whether it be religion or just what I'm doing with my life, it would be very noticeable that either I didn't want to talk about it, and they would know why, because apparently I'm trying to hide something, or that I wouldn't agree with something that they're saying. So I would have had all kinds of red flags, and they would have known something was amiss. So yeah, I don't really think that there was any other way for me to leave the religion. It kind of just took something that shook me enough to where I allowed myself to really start thinking for myself. And I don't think I would have been able to have just faded out and then, you know, moved on with my life and then still kept my family. I don't see that happening. For those of you that are able to do that, oh my gosh, I am so jealous of you guys. If I had the capability of doing that, trust me, I would. But I'm just, it physically hurts me to pretend to be a certain way that I'm not. And I can tell that there's light shining on my face, all stupid, but I'm too lazy to get up and fix it. So you'll have to deal with it unless I maybe move to a different position. There we go. That might help. So yeah, I don't really have any answer as to what I would have done differently for my escape. Do I have any regrets? That, I think I might have some. And I think the only one I could think of was maybe, and again, it has to do with my folks. There were a couple of instances. Okay, so when you go through something traumatic, whether it's you discover that your spouse is cheating on you, or you discover something crazy like you were adopted and your parents never told you, and it's something, you know, big like that in your life, you go through all kinds of emotions. And you go through anger, you go through rage, you go through actual rage, so you can get a little bitter. You go through a period of like mourning because all of this you know, life that you thought you had is no longer there, doesn't exist, or never did. So there's kind of like a bit of mourning that you feel. There's self-pity. There's a little bit of self-anger, and it takes like forgiveness of yourself to be able to kind of move forward. So there's a range of emotions that you go through. And I think what I regret the most is texting and reaching out to my parents while I was at the cusp of like that rage, bitterness kind of emotion that I was feeling. Because any ex-JW video will tell you that there's really nothing you can do to wake anybody up. As soon as you start talking about the reasons why you don't want to be a witness or why you don't believe, they'll automatically close their ears, shut down, not want to hear it. And I understand, because I would have done the same thing too. But when you send a text and you basically are feeling these raw emotions and you tell them how betrayed you feel, they're not going to take it as like, they're not going to really acknowledge the feelings, because if it has anything to do with the religion, they're going to chalk it up to, you know, like apostate lies. I don't know if that's the best term to, they're just going to basically say, and I know they didn't respond to me, obviously, because, you know, not only are they shunning me, but they don't encourage that kind of behavior. So when I did send a couple of texts to them, like really just feeling like raw, like, how can you not want to talk to your daughter? Like, I haven't changed, I'm the same person, and, you know, a couple other things. They don't see it as their daughter, because I've never lashed out that way before. I never had a reason to like really call them out on a few things. And for my own, I feel like self-healing, I needed to call them out on a few things. And my dad did kind of like at one point acknowledge and apologize. But yeah, I probably would have rethought that and like let myself really go through all those emotions, maybe with a therapist, and just kind of like really vented with a therapist. Not my significant other, poor guy. He's been dealing with so much of me having to heal and all the different cycles I go through within this healing process that I don't really like to vent too much with him. But had I had some professional help, that probably would have helped me maybe not be so raw in the messages that I sent, and maybe they would have listened. I don't know. It's really hard to say, because again, if it's anything against the religion or the practices, it's hard to, anything that's talking against the beliefs, they're gonna automatically just shut down and not even want to hear it. So that's probably my only regret, is just, you know, not sending a couple of texts that may have been a little rough for them to hear. They were true, and it helped me in my healing, but I know it probably did not help them in understanding where I was coming from. Oh my God, I apologize. Calm down. She is going nuts. So yeah, I don't really, other than that, I don't really have any regrets. There's nothing really I could have done differently. I do kind of wish that there was a way for us to, for the XJW community, to kind of rally up and help others that are trying to leave in like a more centralized way. So for example, a few of you have reached out to me in like desperate need to connect with someone because you are in dire straits, you don't know who to turn to, you know you don't want to do this, but you don't want to lose everybody in your life, and you feel like you're kind of stuck. And that feeling of being stuck and kind of, you know, pinned up against a wall is an ugly feeling, and it leaves you in such desperation that sometimes we do things that we regret, or we go down a path that we can't turn around from. So if there was a way that we could have some kind of like hotline where, you know, a bunch of us XJWs could be available during different times of the day to be able to just listen to you guys, that would be amazing, and just offer tips and like let you vent with us as to all the frustrations that you're feeling, and maybe give some, you know, suggestions, not professional suggestions, because again, we're all kind of learning as we're going, so I don't really have like information as to resources of where you can go, like if there's shelters that you need to go to, or if you are employed by a current witness and if you leave, you know, you're not going to have employment and you don't have any, you know, training to do anything else, you know, where do you go? And I can understand how helpless you may feel, and it'd be really awesome to get together with others and try to figure out a way to maybe have a list of resources for, you know, maybe major cities to start out with, or states, and then kind of go from there, because it just feels like it's a lot. There's a couple of you that I still kind of keep in touch with, and I wish I could talk to you guys more often, but, you know, there's been a lot going on at work, and then with myself too. I know I've been awake for a year, but you still go through these cycles. It goes through waves. Healing is not linear. It's all over the place. So there could be like something that happens that just kind of triggers or sets me off, and then I'm back to just being like a mess, just in like fetal position, just not able to function. And I can't help anyone if I can't help myself. So I don't know, even just having a list of like professionals that are used, like therapists that are used to dealing with people leaving controlling groups, you know, cults or anything like that, or just controlling relationships, because that's basically what it is. It's like a controlling relationship. So maybe in the future we'll be able to get together with some other XJ-Dubs. I know Barbara Anderson was looking at possibly putting together a hotline, so I have to follow up with her because I wanted to have part in that and see what I could do to help. Just as a listening ear, because most of us just want to be listened to. We want to talk to someone that understands. In the XJ-Dub groups that I'm in, one of the most common comments I've noticed is that they're thankful to find the groups, because even though they have significant others, they don't understand, they can't fully comprehend the impact that being a witness had on us, the long-term effects that it can have. They may try, my significant other, my fiance, tries his hardest to understand why things happened, why they affected me this way, and why, I guess, why organizations like this exist in the first place. I don't know. I think I'm going to do a video with him eventually to have his perspective as to what it was like to be with me while this all unfolded, because we were already kind of dating before I fully woke up, and then when I did wake up, then it was ugly and he had to be there and helped me pick up the pieces. And mostly it had to be me, because I needed to go through the healing process myself. But he was crazy supportive, as much as he could be. And that's what a lot of the comments are, that their significant others are incredibly supportive, but there's nothing like talking to someone that went through your exact experience. So I think a hotline would be an incredibly great idea for people to be able to call in at any time and just talk to someone and vent with someone. The only thing that worries me about that is that if we do get any calls from people that are possibly suicidal, we don't have the training, or maybe we will need training to be able to handle those kind of phone calls. I don't know. I mean, that's a big responsibility, but just definitely being there to, you know, listen to you vent. That's something I would like to do, but at the same time, it does get, it gets a little heavy, because I tend to, when I hear someone and they let out their emotion and tell you how they feel, I feel a lot of empathy, sympathy, I forget which term you use, and it cuts and it hurts, you know, just as much, and it kind of sends you into a flashback as to what you were feeling. So it's hard. It's hard to deal with. But yeah, those are basically just the last few thoughts that I've been thinking about with the XJ-W community. If there's anything else you guys would like me to talk about, I am definitely doing, I think I mentioned the follow-up to the Spanish video, so I think that one's going to be next. And I am going to do another video, the one that I've already kind of written out, is this is again something therapeutic for me, is I wanted to kind of address like a message to my parents. So kind of like, because I know I can't talk to them, because if I send them messages and they don't respond, I'm just setting myself up for hurt that I don't want to feel. And I know they're not going to reach out. So I think since I realized that doing these YouTube videos has been a big part of me kind of, not mourning, but it's a big part of me, it's helped me kind of vent, I guess, in a way, and it's helped me process everything. So I think if I do a video kind of addressing my parents, not anything crazy negative, like I mentioned earlier, I've thought this through, I've kind of rethought and calibrated my mentality in a more healthy kind of perspective. And I think I'd like to do a video kind of addressing them as to how I feel, and we'll see. I don't think that they're ever going to watch it. I mean, if they did, awesome, but it's a long shot that they will. So this is mostly for me to just kind of like send my feelings out and just let it be. So thank you guys so much again for watching my videos, for subscribing. I will try to make more videos with some better content. Well, not better content, but like different topics. And perhaps I will take notes. That way I'm not so scatterbrained and all over the place. But I appreciate your patience, and I will be seeing you guys shortly. Thank you. Bye.